It's really disorienting not being able to see the numbers on these dice until I shine the light.
Wait, are we all still Slayer?
No.
No.
I'll start.
Blue.
Right.
That's a question.
We are live.
Georgia's got my old Art of Slayer on.
It's very pretty.
And baby.
So it's
Wait,
session
what was that?
182 today?
What was that?
Your old art of Lily's old art of Slayer is your icon.
I have tried to change it because that was when we were all Celia in the when we confronted Elijah, but it won't let me for some reason. So I'm just Celia forever now.
Yay! I reckon that's fine. Now, if anybody wants to know what I've been doing with my time sitting sick at home from work after lying on the public bathroom floor, quite literally, I've been going through all of the old NPC names and making sure I didn't miss a single person.
We're going to have some familiar
Emma, you were
faces.
sick?
Oh, I went home from work today because I had period pain so bad I was throwing up in the toilet and I had to take off.
Oh.
I literally, in the toilet cubicle, was in so much like period pain that I took off my shoes and my clothes.
I came in and
lay on the floor.
Emma was literally like in like shorts and a t-shirt, and like the dungarees were tossed aside, the shoes are off, and she was throwing up, and I was like, right, I'm calling you a taxi, you're going home.
No.
Oh, baby. Why does having a uterus have to suck so hard?
What did I say to you last night? I'm going to cut it out.
Can't do that just yet.
No gender, let's go.
That is kind of the goal.
I'm going to get rid of everything.
Everything?
Everything. I want no biological sex. Anyway, forget that happened.
So, who's on recap? Is it me?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's me. I know exactly what's been going on.
It is Emma
It's
this
Emma.
week, and George is next week.
No.
Not
Okay,
good.
good.
Georgia, I'm just going to tell you a really, really quick rundown of everything.
You did give me a little bit of one in London.
I
So
did.
actually, I do have a little bit of.
Yeah. You disappeared into the ether the moment you left the campaign.
Oh,
Merlin
we actually have it
Finnegan.
in. Emma, we have an eviction. For some reason, I was bamfed by my riffs somewhere.
You are. Exactly. The rifts were like, poof, no more cats. So, to start us off, you guys headed to Whitecliff Castle where you met Merlin and Finnegan, who you had some lovely DMCs where Finnegan reminded you, Bluey, of all the old times you'd spent together and invited you to live with him after the campaign is done. Merlin got to business, however, and reminded you that you had a lot to do in Melas and that the council was waiting there for you to make your grand reappearance upon this political stage where everything's fraught between Bahamut and Tiamat. Via Melas, you're also going to go to the Tears. Now, Merlin also reminded you have a contact in Melas who is willing to take you to the Tears, and that's a smuggler named Lynn who owns the Hippocampus Inn on the coastline. Now, the aim was to go from A to B and just get there, just get to the Hippocampus Inn. But oh my god, no, that was not how it was going to go. So first of all, we went to the Royal Nepery, which was a pseudo-cultish, no, it was high cult. It was very high cult. And also high house.
It's like a shisha bar.
Like a shisha bar, except you stay there forever. Loran, upon Ulster's behest, went into the thing and never came out. So Ulster went in and didn't come out. So you guys went in and you were stressed. But then you eventually found the pair of them, pulled them out of there, but not after they'd eaten some addictive food, which made them really desperate to go back and made all other food taste like shit. Also in Nappary, you came across a lot of NPCs who had been kidnapped away. We have Boba Tekka, we have Harold Hesterbrand, we have Shuraleth Quinn, who was the policeman from
season 1.
We have Tyrese, the barman from The Axe. We have Timmons, Loran's old shopkeep assistant. We have Kaylee, the cleric of Bahamut. We have Gondo. We have Mom Zersvald, who was the guard who escorted Gondo, and Chrism, who's also there to go and find a new home for Chrism. We have Arsa, a Dragonborn member of Shamrock's original crew who Bluey encountered in the Feywild. And I've just remembered right now, we also, if we have Chrism and Mom Zersvald and Gondo, we also have the Kobold.
The Kobold.
I just remembered that Shrekamus tried to give to
That would be correct.
Picotaro.
Would it be? I thought
To
you
Ender.
tried to give it to Ender because it was Ender's birthday.
Ender,
party.
sorry, as a gift.
Ender.
So all of these people, and probably some that I've missed, but if anyone ever asks what happened to them, that they ended up in the Royal Napery, that's the catch-all.
Legend says they're still there.
Legend says they're still there. If I ever remember any of the NPCs who just disappeared off Napery. So anyway. Right. After that, you guys went to the Hippocampus Inn. Lynn did a law dump where she explained everything that was going on in Melas and agreed to take you to Solari, who is one of Bluey's contacts, who was last seen in a state of distress. Unknown what her fate, what fate became of her. You guys went via the aqueducts in barrels through the cellars of Melas.
With tangerines.
Like made tangerines, you threw them at trolls, and then you arrived at Solari's residence, but Solari was not there. Now, Celia cast a very cool spell to try and figure out what had happened to her. And you saw that she, after being cornered by something or someone, made a break for it, aided by the mists, which took her to a safe place where she is still huddled up, even now. Dancing lights? Wait, no. You have a mage. Oh, it's still there. Courage!
Every time you need courage, I'll provide that.
Anyway, after this, you guys return to the Hippocampus Inn. Ulcer and Loran have a very deep and meaningful conversation.
Yes. This is true.
Conversing.
True. It is. It's very moving and deep.
Very moving.
That's fair.
Anyway, and then, meeting with Malin and Finnegan once more, you made your final plan. Tomorrow morning will be the dawn of your final day before this fight with Elijah, supposedly, if it is to take place.
Loran's memory's coming back.
Loran's memory is coming back within the day.
Oh, wait, really?
Not within the day, but like the next day, after the day.
At the end of the day.
Guys, there are so many days. Anyway, I'll let you know.
Okay.
It is the last day.
The final day. This is the last, guys, this is the last day of the campaign before
The pain.
the pain. You're going to the
Okay,
Tears
nice.
today after a council meeting. And from the Tears, you will go to Feyways. There are no longer 12 things on your list.
So what you're saying is
Sorry,
we're
who's-
not going to get to episode 200.
Honey, excuse me.
Bold of you to say that,
Such a
Aelin.
bold assumption. Aelin.
No, I
gonna have, like,
needed to say it
yeah.
just to get the reaction because I didn't think I think we'll hit the 200 easy.
I think that 200 is the goal. Epilogue sessions included.
Okay.
Wait, what session is this?
184.
Oh,
Oh,
182.
easy!
No,
Easy!
we're at 182. 182.
After
Easy!
what? I've missed 3 sessions, sadly, and in those 3 sessions, you've done what? Go to a napery? Like, I think we can easily make it to
Oh,
200.
the dance class!
Jazzercise plus 2.
Yeah, but even so,
I will say, today I am intending on making this a fairly light, content-wise session with lots of happiness and joy because we need that, I think, right now. So, with a sip of tea to calm my nerves and pain in the tummy.
Pain.
All of you take a long rest.
I like a long rest idea.
Cass, you are sleeping with Saracen
Oh.
in bunk beds.
He rolls over.
Hey! The bed collapses and he has to go on the bottom one. Cass, you're sleeping in bunk beds with Saracen. Now, I'm going to need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm sorry, if Sarah's doesn't want to get objectified, this is the worst person for him to sleep with.
Oopsie.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that is not bad. Not bad at all. 18.
18. Okay.
I love it. It's going to be all happiness. Let's see if you're possessed.
Thank you. Cass,
Hello.
as you close your eyes, you find yourself dreaming far more lucidly than you expected. Quickly, you sit up and you see you are back in that cavern in the city of Brass, where you saw the eye of Alan peeking through at you. But it is closed. Sand is caked around the wrinkled edges of the lid.
Ew.
And you have agency. You are not forced into any actions. That's your wisdom saving throw. So, what do you do?
Can I do an investigation check to see if I can see anything sharp and pointy?
You may, go for it.
Apart from your words.
That is a bam, 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 bam. Why can't I ever do maths? It's very simple. 26.
You can see broken, kind of jagged stalagmites and stalactites that have crumbled off from where they grew naturally and are just sort of scattered on the floor.
Yeah, I think Cass is at the point where she's like, this is a terrible idea, but I've done many, so let's go for it. And I think she's going to pick it up and hurl it at the eye.
Okay. You throw it at the eye and you do make me a dexterity saving throw. A dexterity check, sorry.
Can it not be an attack roll?
And is it an attack? Then yeah, go for it.
Because I don't want it
Improvise
to
weapon
be
attack.
Yeah. So let me have a look at my attacks. Shall I do my unarmed? I actually do have I'll use my javelin proficiency because it's essentially a javelin.
Oh.
Natural 20.
Very nice. Okay. You
29.
manage to impale it right in the tear duct, and as you do, the room turns into somehow. I'm going to say a phrase. I don't know how it's possible, but the brightest, most burning black you've ever seen. It makes you shield your eyes. It's so sudden, and all of it suddenly stems from that eye opening and pulls around you, and you are just in this darkness with Alan watching you. And as he does, Cass, you hear a deep and resonating voice shake the room around you. As Alan says, destroy the foundations that build you. And Cass, you feel your stomach drop just a moment before you yourself start falling further and further and further away from that eye until there's a pinprick. What do you do?
Interesting. Can I cast any spells?
You can try anything you like.
I'm gonna try and part of me wants to see what he's gonna show me, but then part of me is like, when has this dude ever done anything that's good to know? So I think Cass might see if she can levitate, at least control how she's moving.
Okay. So you want to try and levitate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to say you sort of feel yourself slowing, and then because it's so dark around you, you feel like you're barely moving at all. If you're still falling, you don't know. If you're rising, it's impossible to say. But you're just floating, your hands and feet sort of slack in this darkness. And as you float there, you see yourself mirrored back in that darkness. All your eyes are open.
Ah, shit.
And darker version of yourself says, everything you've built is like sand beneath your feet, spilling out all around you, and causing you to sink lower and lower to depths I did not think you were capable of. And you know these are Alan's words, but they're using your voice.
I think Cass would just ask, like, what do you want?
I think I once wanted your assistance. I am usually kind, in a way, to those who serve me, so long as they don't disappoint. And to those who do not yet know that they serve me, well, they may still be saved when all of this is done. But you, Cass, when I enter this realm, I will see to it that you will live beside me in perpetuity. You will never return to the Feywild, where you may have lived a restricted yet long life of comfort and servitude. All of your friends will be pulled apart before your eyes, starting with Ulster. For he is not your truest and oldest ally. Oh no, wait. That was me.
I think Cass just starts laughing. And she's like, you're going to have to get in line, but I'm not yours. You will never touch my friends. But I am going to roll a performance check for that one because Cass is really sad and is actually wanting to cry. So it's all a lie. Would you like performance or deception?
Okay. So did you say that's a performance or deception?
I'm asking, do you think that's a performance or a deception?
I think it's up to you. Performance I usually think is a bit more of the bravado. Has a bit more of like a theatrical aspect to it. Honestly, I would leave it up to you.
I'm not sure which one it would be, to be honest.
Then let's do deception.
Okay, deception is a lot better than performance, so thank you. So that's an 18.
Okay. With an 18, you see that vision of yourself beginning to kind of wobble at the edges, the lines of her face kind of boiling almost. Shut up. And then they cool down again. Do you remember the list of names?
Just smiles in response. She does, and if I were to say them, they would come out in Emma's voice. But
There are many names on that list.
yeah, there are
A lot of the Dehanes, people you've never met, people who are already dead.
Darmata.
Star
all that
Martyr,
sort of-
and so
yeah.
on. Alan looks at you. And he says, I have a strange power. You see, when I work in the material plane, I plant a seed. And that seed is chaos. And my influence goes as far as that seed may bloom and reach. Acantha ricas, a thorn in so many's sides. But you are such a creeping and sprawling thing. This list is a few purposes for me. For one, there are people on there who I wish to see dead, of course. Some have already died. There are people on there who could have been problematic to my cause. This is, of course, as well, not the only list. It may be even missing some of the people you thought yourself closest to. But do not worry. Their names appear somewhere. This list is a promise that through you, should you fail, I can tear down each one of these individuals. You have brought disaster to their lives by your simple existence.
Yes,
Sorry. You brought disaster to their lives by your simple existence. I guess in a way it was a warning to you to neuter yourself of any affection. But I believe it is too late. So, Acantha recast. This will be our final meeting until it is time for you to take your place at my side.
Sorry, but I've got a tall lady that I'm gonna be by the side of instead. She's much better looking.
You say, looking at the mirror version of yourself.
To be fair, Cass would still stand by that.
There is a pause, and then Alan says, good night. And then you feel yourself lurch and you sit up in a cold sweat in the bed. that you lay in.
Cass shaking, and I think she actually might vomit. Yeah.
Pull a pot about and vomit heartily. And from
Yeah.
the top bunk, you hear Sarasa say in a drearing, sleepy tone, "Get it all out, Loran. You'll feel better in the morning." Now. Oh, yeah.
I think Cass might sort of hearing Sarasa say that she's not going to go and wake anyone up, but she's going to sort of levitate to the top bunk and then like perch on the end and just sort of like curl up and just watch him sleep. Just be like, she's like, I'm not going to sleep, but I want some comfort, and it's comforting to know that I can see that at least one of my friends is alive and well. So she's just going to sort of curl up at his feet and just keep watch over him.
Makes sense. Meanwhile, Sarasa has dreams of being watched through windows by 6 eyes. Anyway, you top and toe with Sarasa, and our vision moves to a mansion within a room.
Sorry, I just remembered the mushrooms. The mushroom saga.
The floor is covered in mushrooms.
Yeah, there are mushrooms everywhere, Bluey.
Around Bluey? Or
Sorry?
around Bluey or elsewhere?
Why not? You've got a little fairy circle around you. If you wake up kind of stirring in the middle of the night, you just be shrooms.
They've gotten
design.
No, Bluey. They've gotten bigger and distinctly more flesh-like. A couple have scales.
No.
You have a sense that Ulster might have stolen some of your DNA.
To make dragon
Has the
mushrooms.
Oh well, you can't question him. He's not there.
Emma, please make sure this doesn't happen.
This happens, right, Emma?
Roll me a d20. The higher you go, the more likely it's happened.
13?
Bluey,
Can I
you
oppose
can't
that?
tell if it's a trick of the light. They do look bigger and a little more fleshy.
Okay, none of them are in my skin, are they?
None of them are in your skin. They're growing around you.
You dream they're in your skin.
You dream they're in your skin.
Okay. Fuck.
Meanwhile, Ulster,
Woo!
you stir lightly as Loran shuffles and kind of loops his hand around your waist and pulls you close to his side. And you get that sort of sinking feeling that you've been getting the last couple of hours, the last day or so. But it is not long until the two of you are yet again thrown into the flames. Now, Loran is immune to fire, but it does not lessen the pain of that. Quickly approaching reality.
Ulster kind of snuggles a bit more under Loran's arm, and he tries to just relax, but he looks a bit disturbed, I think.
Loran slowly kind of opens his eyes sleepily, and he just says, "You're twisting your feet."
Ulster pretends to snore.
Make a deception check.
Surely that won't be performance.
Five. Please snore
Pretending
for me,
to snore.
Ulster. Snore.
Chew!
Did you sneeze, or was that a snore?
I was lying.
I know. I'm so shocked by your act. You're right.
You should sleep more.
Why? Why do I be here when you wake up?
No, I know you'll always be here. it's just the last day, you know. It's the last day.
He brushes a hand through your hair and says, "If you want, I can make this look like the Fang. We can recreate some of our greatest hits."
I think if I live in a fantasy for too long, I won't want to leave it. It wouldn't be good for us.
He frowns a bit and he says, "I believe in quite the contrary. If we let ourselves indulge in a little fantasy now and again, I don't think it'll hurt. Especially not now when everything's getting so intense out there."
Loran, this is already a fantasy.
Not for me.
For me, it is. I don't want to wrap myself in any more layers of it. If that's okay.
Loran nods.
I am sorry.
I don't have your perspective. I don't know in detail all the things that have happened. I'm sure for you and for everyone else, sleep brings this adventure closer and closer to its conclusion. Time speeds up, and then what's a day to face, really? When broken up into long and short rests.
I think also starts crying a little bit. It's just
Loran kind of has a mouth twitch and is like, "Are you alright?"
sorry.
No, don't apologise for crying. What's wrong? Am I stinky? Is my breath? Is it morning breath? I've never had that problem, you know.
I'm gonna miss that.
My morning breath?
I'm gonna miss the laughter. I think no one here really laughs anymore, you know. They haven't in a long time.
We laughed plenty yesterday.
Because I was lying, Loran. Because I was lying. I've been pretending this whole time. It's like at the City of Brass, where I thought it would be funny to become moss people because I couldn't face up to what was happening.
Allstar, no, I don't. Well, first of all, I don't know what you're talking about, really. But
I know you don't. I know you don't.
Allstar, he kind of shakes your hand. We spoke about it in that cellar. Doing what you have to do, moment to moment, to get through this. How can that be a lie or a deception? I know it's not maybe what you might consider an appropriate reaction to everything that's happening right now. But when have we ever been appropriate? Any one of us? I seem to remember Cass and Neff literally throwing tankards and getting drunk in the Underdark when we were trying to rescue a bunch of orphan children.
No,
I don't remember that at all, actually.
No, you don't.
But I read that in my journal and saw a very, very clear diorama of it on TikTok. You guys can all go and rewatch that TikTok. Anyway, I was possessed by something I don't know what just then. I'm sure there have been times where we've all relied on laughter to get through it, but that doesn't make it a deception. It's not like we're sitting in inaction. We're doing something.
I'm really glad you think so.
Jesus Christ, you're all so sad. And I also don't know who Jesus Christ is either.
Also kind of shuffles his knees up to his chest and hugs them. I want to be fun. I've always wanted to be fun.
You are fun.
Yeah, but it's like Slia said to me before. I'm not really here at the moment. And I think something you said to me as well before we wiped your... Before this. I don't think anyone is going to be themselves for a while. My only real hope is that we will all still be friends after this. And that I can see everyone again, because I don't know what's going to happen. And when you come back, I just want you to remember that I don't not want. I want to see everyone again. I miss them so much. I want us to laugh together again. I want us to go back to the Fang and to the Axe and have a tavern tour around a prayer. It's raining.
Why does it always rain when Christiana won't come around? Loran just sits there for a while. And then
I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm offloading this all on you. It's last night, I guess.
he looks at you. And he says, I'll admit I'm a little bit... I wonder if sad is the right word. Maybe anxious.
Be a fool if you weren't.
But you have to understand, from my weird perspective, it's like I'm never going to see you again. Not like this. At the very least, not for a long time. I feel like I'm pulled out of place. And I'm trying to remember something, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I'm trying to cast a spell, but the words get lost on the tip of my tongue. Being here, that's what it feels like. And seeing you like this, it's like I remember an entire life up until this point, but I know most of it is a fabrication. And imagining based on what you've told me. And that at any moment I'll open my eyes and you'll look a year younger, and I'll be back on my ship, wearing far more clothes than I've become comfortable wearing in this last 2 days. I know it seems silly to say this, considering everything that's coming, but if I'm honest, that's what frightens me the most. That after all of this, I still feel Like, the thing I'm least prepared for is leaving. It's funny because I can think about all these monsters we must have faced. I can put them in chronological order. I can look at my notes and I can see all these things that we did, catalogued. And they feel so real, but I didn't live them. Not like you did. And I want you to have the person you know back. But I'm also selfish and I don't want to give him what I have now, even if he is me.
It is the last time that we will see each other. But in a way we were never supposed to meet. I made you like this out of necessity, and maybe I can admit to you and just to you that it was a little bit of my own selfishness. Just to say goodbye. But I'll never really leave you. And I think you know that. I made a promise.
We're parallel lines, not really meant to cross over.
I don't think I'd want to cross over with how I was a year ago anyway.
Well, I don't have that many protests against it.
He had terrible clothes.
Yeah,
The
I made him some new ones.
scruffy haircut.
That's fine.
And a lot of sunburn.
When I invented sun cream, it was a good day for us all. I sold that thing by the bottle and it really, really went off the rails.
I heard it's done miracles for people's skincare routines.
I know. Though Sobek created this rather oily counterpart, which I'm not a huge fan of.
Let's just have this day. But I suppose let's try not to mourn each other in the process. I'll still be here. You'll still be here, but maybe in a way this will be the end. And we'll go on to the next thing. And maybe it will be sad, maybe it will be devastating, but I have you. I want to have everything. I want the world, I want my friends, I want my family. Everything I love and have enjoyed and want to protect, I want it to be safe, but at the end of things, I know that I have you. That's keeping me tethered. Even if it's not on this world or with these people who I love, there's a part of me that's always tethered here with you. And that's something.
Loran bumps his forehead against yours and you just sit there for a moment. And he says, when my memories come back, don't you dare let this new version of myself be embarrassed by everything that's passed and all the things that I've said and the person that I was. Because I have a very high opinion of me, right?
He says a lot more embarrassing things than you do, don't worry.
Like what? Or are these words that cannot be spoken?
Also, will fetch his journal, find the back of the journal and just slide it over.
Like two teenagers by lamplight under a duvet cover. You read. And it's nice. And it's warm. And it's a moment just for you.
I think also will eventually fall asleep on Naran's shoulder, with the book between them.
It's Leah.
Just gonna put my
Are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Hello.
You can have this, like.
Slia, how easily do you fall asleep tonight?
After her conversation with Alstair, probably a lot easier. She closes her eyes and she sees that familiar beach, but it's not. She doesn't fight it. She's ready to be there.
You stand on the shore, the water lapping at your heels. And as you tend to do in these dreams, you retrace your footsteps. The first imprints you ever made on this land. Whether those were in a dream or in reality, it's blurred. Placing your feet perfectly in the sinkholes you created until there are no more of them. And you're standing in the middle of this sandbank with a dark, inky water reflecting the firmament spreading around you. Up above, there is an aurora of red and green, which ripples comfortably like silk on a washing line. And it is calm. And at your feet, you see Cassiel seated with the world at her back, almost blurring across her shoulder blades. And she is tracing patterns into the sand. And after a moment, she looks up at you.
Hello again.
Hello. And she turns her head and she looks at the rippling aurora and she says, the calm before. And her voice trails off.
I'm sorry they won't get to come see you before the end. They wanted to.
She nods. People used to say that dragons were the pillars of the world. We held up the sky and held down the ground. I don't know.
The shores will see dragons again.
That is my dream. I'm sorry. I know it's not necessarily yours. But
I have lived long enough to have everything I have ever wanted. And that is enough.
the Triad, they are a somewhat vague entity. Many have tried to make sense of them and their form and everything that they stand for, but even now I'm a little bit in the dark, if you'll pardon the pun. she says as she kind of looks at the night sky behind her. The person that wears this cloak. It is a lifetime appointment, with years of preparation. You understand that?
I do. Is there any preparations I need to make before I arrive?
Make sure you have all the pieces. Everything else here is waiting for you.
All of the pieces?
The things you've collected upon your travels.
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
She cocks her head and then gives you an odd look. And then stops drawing in the sand. Sit with me.
Sleia does.
Do you have any questions yet unanswered?
I don't think so anymore.
Do you have any ends yet tied?
No, I've said my goodbyes. Wait, okay, question. Was that what she was asking? Have you
Do you have any loose ends yet to be tied up?
yeah, that was basic. That was what I thought. So yeah, I've said all my goodbyes.
He nods. And you know what you must do when you arrive here?
I know I need to take the cloak and wait just long enough to let the dragons back in, and then put it on.
I would advise spending the next few moments, or, well, if any free time you have, studying the items you've come across upon your journey.
Is this about the book?
Which one? There are many.
Of course.
You can take things out if you wish to try and conjure them in the dream.
Yeah, Sleia will conjure Odyssey's journal.
She reaches for it and she stops before, and she says, would you turn it for me?
Of course. Sleia goes page by page until there's something.
This is a slight bastardization of his original work, from my understanding.
Did he know you at all? you prepare him.
He once gave me a gift. Told me to carry it with me always. I brought it all the way here.
May I ask what it was?
I never opened it. In truth, I don't think it was meant for me. He said that it was well, a safety. But I was never in peril, so I did not think I would need it. But now that I know you are coming, and your friends intend to open the cloak and let things through, I think perhaps some sort of foresight guided his hand.
Hmm.
He was a great mind, from my knowledge.
That's what I hear.
And you are a credit to him.
Thank you.
She resumes, just trailing her fingers in the sand. And she says, "So what happened to those last pages? The ones that are gone now?"
They were ripped out, deemed unimportant. Just letters that never got sent.
Sometimes the dead speak to us in our dreams.
You're not dead yet.
No. But no, I'm not. And she's quiet after that.
Thank you for meeting with me, though.
When you arrive, you must understand. It will not work the same as this. You will not see me. Not until the end.
What should I look for instead, then?
The break of dawn.
And how long should I wait to fulfill my promise?
I can't answer that. Some things no matter how small or large, simple or complicated. They cannot be easily answered. But I'm glad you're here, and that I had good company in this last day.
I'm glad to be here with you.
But you are not there much longer after that. As you hear the sound of creaking, Bluey shifting in the bunker. Bluey Sparks!
So
Do
I
you
have
think you'll escape this fate?
one last question, if that's all right.
You may, yes.
Is there anything you would ask of me? Any promise I might make you?
I am quite content.
I'm glad.
And with your insight, that is an honest answer.
Thank you.
Blue Sparks.
Yeah, let me get a blue pen. Sorry.
You've been having odd dreams of late. This one, however, doesn't feel so much as a dream as you're used to. You feel as if you almost open your eyes, and around you, you see the world as if you are within the Shadowfell. And you sit up. Can you make me a perception check, please?
I'm going to call that a 12 on the dice, which means that's unnatural 20.
Okay. Bluey, with your unnatural 20, as you sit up, you notice a ring of light kind of spilling up from beneath the covers.
The covers?
Yeah.
Hang on, she's in her bed, but also in the Shadowfell?
Yeah. You're exactly where you are. So it looks
What?
it is a shadowed version of that place. The mansion.
Right. Does does she understand that this is very similar to the other dreams in that well it's likely that she can move about here and then she'll move about in real life.
Make me an intelligence check.
All right. Oh,
It really, really is.
that's a 10.
Nah, it's hard to say. This is dreams. Dreams operate on dream logic.
I think Blue's surprised that there's light in the Shadowfell ever, so she'll lift the cover.
You once thought it was lapis lazuli, but it was confirmed to you, of course, that this is painite. And this gem currently has, from within it, a light kind of glow. And you lift it up, and you kind of turn it in your hand. and you see that when you lift it, just ahead of you by the doorway, a little spot of shimmering light appears. Same colour of blue. And no matter how you turn it, the refraction stays in that spot. What do you do, Lucifer?
She says to the little Painite, I'm going to follow you. And then gets up out of bed, goes towards the door and tries to open it.
Sleer, the creaking that you heard before is quite pronounced as you see, kind of like in blurred vision. Actually, no, maybe a constitution check.
Slayer or?
Sleer.
Okay.
Okay, Constitution check is a 13.
13. You're really drowsy. You can't tell if this is a dream or not. But you do see kind of the wobbly, kind of sleek, blurred form of Bluey kind of say, I'm gonna follow you, and get up, walk down the ladder of the bunk bed, and head to the door.
Bluey, is that Bluey? Is that you? Bluey?
Bluey, make me a perception check with disadvantage. All stay on, you just come back in.
That's a 10. It could have been a 20, but it was a 10.
Might have 12 million.
21.
21.
21.
Bluey, you don't really hear.
Where is everyone?
You don't really hear what
Sleeping.
Sleer's saying. But I'm gonna need Cass to tell me your passive perception. And I've already heard it from Ulster.
My passive perception is 18.
Yeah, the two of you, kind of from your own little perches, hear rustling sounds. It's probably roughly 5 or 6 a.m. And the noise of Bluey, you open your door, which is the door to the mansion at this point. And you see the lapis lazuli. It's pointing you in that direction.
Allstar's getting out of bed. He's seeing what's happening.
I mean, Cass hasn't been asleep since she had her dream, so she goes from creepily watching Sarazur to figuring out what's going on.
Wait, were
Sleer,
you
are
saying
also
that-
following?
Huh?
Sleer, are you also following? Bluey?
Sleia is very sleepily following Bluey.
I wake Loran up as well.
Loran's like, ooh, mystery adventures.
Gosh, I hope not.
All of you in your nightcaps and pajamas head out of your various rooms, and
Blue is in the Snuggie.
Bluey,
I
in
think
your snuggie,
Rainbow
you
side
look
faces.
around. I'm going to ask you a very important question.
Yeah.
Bluey, when you dream of people,
Yeah.
do you dream of them as, like, people? Or perhaps do you dream of them how Bluey might actually perceive them as, like, animals or characters or caricatures of themselves?
Oh. I think I would think that I guess like a lot of her dreams seem a bit nonsensical.
Okay.
I think
I know what they are. I'm sorry. I'm going to take this option away from you. You turn around and you see 4 mushrooms about the size of your friends. One of them is purple. One of them is like bright white. One of them is like electric blue. And one of them is like crimson red capped. And they're staring at you with their little mushroom bodies.
oh no.
And one really short mushroom body.
How are you here? No. Blue turns away and tries to follow the Painite.
Okay, you pull on the door. Everyone else, you see Loran with a smirk on his face, kind of like pressed his finger at the mansion door. Bluey, in your dream, it does not open. It's locked. What do you do?
Bluey!
She tries to
No, Bluey.
This is going to be really funny, guys. Are you ready? Mushroom Loran says. 3, 2, 1. Bluey, you slam against the door. It rolls right open, and you touch the other side, tumbling. Make me a Constitution check, please.
Constitution?
Yes, please.
Just a check, not a saving throw.
The all-star mushroom goes, oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
That is 25.
25. Bluey, blurrily, you kind of catch yourself and you roll over, and hovering over you, kind of like dancing around you, you see the all-star mushroom just going, oh dear.
Oh
Oh
dear.
dear. Oh dear.
Do I recognize his voice, or is it different? Or can I even hear them? Like,
You hear them kind of like echoing around your head.
okay, Blue's like scrambling away on the floor. Just like-
Can I try and snatch the pain out if I see it?
Blue, what have you done with it? Are you holding it?
I think she's still trying to hold it. Yeah.
Okay. Sleight of hand?
I think she might say into the peanut, "Bring me out of here," and just sort of like tries to get where it's like showing next.
Can I try and sleight of hand the pain out of her?
For sure.
So opposed.
Can I assist by just trying
That'll
to
be a
distract
dexterity
Bluey?
contact. So Bluey, roll your dexterity.
Natural 20.
Nice. I think it's going to be I think that's going to be one for Ulster.
A dexterity check.
It's on my story dice as well.
Nice. Yes. Just in case, it's also a natural 20.
I think it's very unlike. Oh, yeah, no, it isn't.
Great. Bluey, the pain light has gone from your hands, and as it leaves your hands, the colour dims, and you slowly begin to lose that focus. But you don't wake up. You actually just fall into a deeper.
I pat her cheeks like.
deeper- You can choose to wake up if you wish.
No much.
I pocket the pain light. Oh dear.
Loran says, "I saw that.
Yes, but I'm trying to hide it from her, Loran.
Why?
Did you not see what just happened?
Bluey, guess who stole your stone?
Shut up!
Did I do the thing again?
Yes, you were sleepwalking.
So this has happened before.
Yes.
Can you
Okay.
turn it? I don't drop it. I've confiscated the painite.
It was showing me something. It was showing me. I could see light. It looked like I was in the Shadowfell, but I could see light coming from it, and it was only.
Lou, I think what it was probably showing you is probably very useful, and we probably do want to know it. However, with the
Not
mist
at night.
tendencies to kind of want to ferret you away, maybe you disappearing on your own in the middle of the night is not the best way to see what they want to show you.
I kind of forgot that this happens.
Loran says, "Who is controlling the stone? If someone is trying to use it to divine with you, perhaps they're trying to send you a message."
Would it be Lapis?
I mean the light coming out of it looked like a pointer. I don't know if any chance of getting a message in that, I don't know, could.
Loran says, "It's something I could do only if I've met the person."
You have.
I have? Well then. I could try and ferry something. There is always a chance it won't work.
What are you thinking of doing?
I can send a message. Look, I understand that since Cass's little escapade, we're not doing like teleportation. But we will not require that to send a message.
I think we should not.
Escapade!
I don't think we should refer to what happened as an escapade. I think
Olive
that makes the
Tapenade?
light.
A
Makes
shenanigan
light. And that also makes
An
even
international incident.
Even yes, that would do.
of fun. Was it not fun?
Interdimensional incident.
Yep, Louis sort of nods. How does Cass appear, by the way? Is she like
You guys are no longer mushrooms.
Sadly.
Um,
sorry, I meant like I've forgotten whether Cass still has riffs or no riffs, and whether some of the hunks of flesh that
That's
are
a very
missing.
good
So the
question.
hunks of flesh are sort of semi-healed over, and apparently they have like a sort of pearlescent sheen to them.
Okay.
I don't think she doesn't have. Does she have her eye back? I can't remember whether we gave her eye back or not. I'm perfectly fine for her to not have her eye back, but I can't remember if we decided that. But either way, she's kind of
Up
like.
to you then.
Yeah, Ulster cast regenerates. I guess you can decide.
I think it'd be quite interesting actually if like there's a sort of semi-eye there, but maybe it's like milk, like milk white rather than actually like seeing. Because I mean, it did get ripped from her head, and there's like maybe if all the rifts get sorted, maybe she'll see. But maybe for the eye, it kind of has that same pearlescent kind of rift sheen to it, so she can't actually see out of it. I think that'd be cool.
Okay.
So she's kind of like she's less Swiss cheese and more like.
Oh wait, more like blue cheese.
Blue cheese.
Yeah.
Wait, what time is our meeting with the council?
Oh, tomorrow.
But what time?
It will be probably first thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good, excellent.
For my purposes, it will be.
Yeah.
But yes, that is a good question. How are the riffs looking on Cass?
So Cass, I think because you've not been here, we haven't really done this much with it. I will give you a vague rundown. You were cleared of your rifts in a fairly sort of tenuous manner. Since having them healed over, you haven't actually tried any proper teleportation magic. I kind of get the impression that next time you teleport, those sort of like weird, like kind of sensations bubbling under the surface of your skin will come to a head.
So that they're not necessarily visible, but I can still feel them.
Yes.
Okay, in that case, Louis, if you're looking at what Cass looks like, she's pretending that everything's fine and that she can't feel them.
Everything's fine. I love that for her. Slia, with your medical proficiency, you'd be able to tell that there's still an underlying issue.
Does anyone want breakfast? I know it's like 5 a.m, but I don't really see anyone going back to sleep now.
Lauren says, I do.
I've been awake for a while. I'm down for breakfast.
I will make
Sure.
sautéed mushrooms on toast.
Lauren says,
Are
can I
they
have
going to be
them in
bluey mushrooms?
No, they will be non-scaly mushrooms, although I have started perfecting the art of crafting scaly mushrooms.
bed? Lauren says, I love you.
I love you too. Now follow me for mushrooms. He walks off.
You'll...
Blue checks again her head, just in case.
Wait, Ulster's hair's completely undone, so it's like almost trailing on the floor. He looks very odd right now.
He's like, eh. Actually, I like to imagine that some of it is tangled up at the front, like a little...
Yeah, like a little beard.
He's like, I will make you sauteed mushrooms.
I'll make you sautéed mushrooms.
Some breakfast.
Wait. Let me just,
Breakfast.
Brilliant.
You look more like a dwarf.
I know. Anyway, so also you go to make breakfast. Those who wish to follow may follow, and you enjoy a very delicious, buttery, hearty, earthy
They're not poisonous.
breakfast, which is not poisonous.
Mushroom.
Thank God. But Bluey, you do have a feeling like there's something waiting for you.
I've confiscated the painite until we need it.
Loran
Has no memory of any issues with painite.
Loran looks through his notebook and just nods and just says, Ulster, says here that you've had some significant issues with pain in the past.
Loran, I'm not going to do anything with the Painite. I'm going to look after it and I'm going to give it back to Bluey whilst she's awake during the day, and at night we're going to confiscate it. So at first light, I will return it to her.
I do have a feeling, based on what I saw yesterday in my notes here, that if you take it off of Bluey, we might miss something from whoever's trying to contact her in the shadow film.
Well, Bluey, are you going back to sleep?
I can. I mean, sometimes when I eat, I then get sleepy, so I get eat a bit now and
Then if you're
fall
going back to sleep, I'm not giving it back to you. I'll give it back to you when you wake up. I don't want Bluey to wander off and end up at the Royal Napery.
Loran says, according to these...
I slam Loran's book closed. Just stop interfering. Please.
It's my job to...
Apparently.
The parents are fighting again. Lou does not say that.
Where's Saraza?
Cutscene.
I let him sleep.
Yeah, that's
Once
probably a good
breakfast
idea.
is ready, Slia goes and gets Sarazer.
Yeah.
Saraza's like half hanging off the bed with his belly sort of just exposed a little bit.
Good morning.
Clear.
We smell mushrooms, Saraza.
I smell mushrooms.
Breakfast is ready. Thought you shouldn't miss it.
Old stag grew mushrooms for us to eat for breakfast, I see.
Mm-hmm. Slia just seems incredibly chipper today.
You are chipper as a kipper.
I don't know if that's a phrase, but I think it's adorable.
You know, I was looking up old-timey phrases the other day. I was wandering around the town and found a little joke store with joke books and joke
It makes sense because you're also old-timey.
Do tell me a joke, Sarazer. On the way to breakfast.
Like,
Actually, you should tell everyone a joke. It'll be fun.
oh god, I hit the pressure.
Oh, do you want to run it by me first?
Just
Excuse me.
give me a moment. And I was what I actually picked up was something I thought Loran might enjoy, which is a book of old-timey insults. So you have some fun, interesting insults in there that you can call people. For example, a ginger snap, hot-headed person. I thought he could use that one on Cass.
A ginger snap.
Slia
Also for
chuckles
Cass,
a
is
little
also
bit.
for Cass also is a go by the ground. It refers to a short person.
Sorry, what did you say? I didn't catch that.
A go by the ground. Whereas he would call me likely a Grumbletonian, which is a discontented person.
You hear Allstate yell, "Breakfast getting cold!"
Oh, what a heathen philosopher that man is. See? So fun and rolls right off the tongue.
It really does. Come on, breakfast is getting cold.
A fairy man named Luce sold it to me. That's a niche joke for some people in this room.
Hurry up!
Okay. Saraza says in a very high-pitched, non-Saraza voice. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
Orchestra
Sarah
sounds
was
as
telling
he
me
runs down the
old-timey
stairs.
jokes.
You seem in a very good mood today, Slia.
It's a good day.
It's the mushrooms, isn't it? And
It's
you
the
made them
mushrooms.
extra special. Yeah, good. Allstate pushes all the mushrooms out. Enjoy. Eat them now,
Cass,
please.
Saraza says, looking a little bit smug, would you like to me to talk about... No. He stops. No, I was about to insult you greatly. It was going to be phrased in a funny way, but nothing can make an insult funny. I am sorry.
You're insulting me greatly by not eating the mushrooms.
He takes a bite.
Slia is eating
demand
the
to
breakfast.
hear the insult. Yeah, Cass
You're
says
such-
that with a mouthful of mushrooms.
You
I think
are...
a bit of it accidentally lands on Saraza's face.
You are A seek sorrow. One who contrives to give himself a vexation.
Why is Sarah speaking like an old person?
Found a book.
I don't
I thought
know.
it was charming.
You both sound like my parents.
Cass
I
just
do
sort
see
of
myself as somewhat of
smiles
a
and she goes,
fatherly
"Well,
figure.
Sarasa, that's you do suck your thumb while you sleep, so
No, I don't.
yes, you do. I saw it last night."
I didn't
Perhaps
get
he
enough
was
love.
biting his thumb in his sleep. He sought a quarrel.
What happened to you all last night?
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I'm suddenly feeling the weight of our circumstance. And I think it's aged me incomparably.
How old are you again?
I am entering my 2nd century.
Oh. Right. Anyway, we've got a meeting this morning, everyone. So we will look our best and we have to brush up and not use old-timey insults because I somehow don't think anyone will understand you, Saraza. I don't think I know many people as old as you.
I'm Am I younger than Gerald?
How old's Gerald?
Gerald in the corner. Ageless!
Gerald has a young face. There's a difference.
Saras's is clearly ancient then.
Sarah's looks like a little bit lined.
It's your charm, Saraza. You look
Old. I know.
I
look older than my parents. I understand.
Serena must have a very good self-care routine.
I spent a lot of time in the mortal plane.
Yeah, you don't. I don't think you used Loran's sunscreen enough. We did send you a free sample, but
I perfected it just for you, brother. I saw your plight and thought I could correct it. It was too late, it seems. For your wrinkly eyes. Oh, they have seen so many sorrows, most of them self-inflicted.
Oh wow! Right, I'm gonna go get ready for the meeting.
Should we wait outside, Loran says, just so that they can contact us? Because this is my mansion.
Oh yeah. Well, I need to get changed properly. As do most of us,
Yes.
except Saraza, who seems to sleep in his armor.
I'm ready for all things.
When was the last time you washed it?
I oil it regularly.
Ulster leans in to smell Saraza, then leans away,
You don't
shakes
wash
his
your
head.
hands. I'm not smelly.
Anyway, Ulster gets up and leaves.
So you guys can get ready for the day. Saraza looks to you, Bluey, looks at your snuggie, and then says, I'll help you into your armor. And as you're all getting ready, Bluey, as you're being loaded with weapons and fastened up as you usually are for the day, Saraza suggests that you two head out to the tavern and meet with Lynn so that she knows you're ready.
And get drunk. Yes, finally a plan.
You can, certainly. Is that agreeable to you, Bluey?
Yep. I mean, well, I wish certain parts of today couldn't happen. I don't want them to happen, but yeah, let's go outside.
Are we all going together?
Saraza is suggesting that he and Bluey head up first whilst you guys get ready to make sure you do safe.
Okay.
Meanwhile, also, as you're getting ready, Loran sort of starts casting runes in the air and attempting to send a message to Lapis. Bluey, I'm sure you would have given him a bit of direction on what you wanted to say. What is it you would like to have said to him? And if anybody else wants to add anything onto the conversation or ask any questions perhaps about the Painlight, this is your chance to do so.
I think message to Lapis would say sort of like, hi, Lapis. That you? If so, urgent? Also, where am I needed? If not, please disregard.
Understood.
Let me know. Bluey. That's 20 words.
Okay. Also, is there anything you want to ask about the pay night?
I think Ulster's pretty content with his knowledge of Paint Night. I think he's just got it safely in his pocket and he is just waiting until Bluey is ready to take it back. He doesn't seem to have any intention of stealing it, as Loran seems to think.
The message sends and he waits.
Hmm.
And Loran says, I'm going to write this down for Bluey. But the long and short of it is somewhat what I was surmising. It appears that for Lapis to guide us where we need to go, Bluey needs to be holding the pin.
It would be a lot easier if Lapis had just sent a note.
Loran smiles. I know. In my reply, I suggested that before we head to the tiers, because she's been kind of guessing, we will message her so that she knows when to be ready. That way there's no more guesswork involved on either end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. Ulster keeps snapping on his Droll armor.
Mm-hmm.
At the sort of when that seems to have concluded, you hear like a little knock on the door as Cass wants to speak to Loran.
Loran, okay.
That sounds like a Cass knock. It came from he gestures around his knees that high.
Yes, come on
Even
in.
though it's like that low, it's like overcompensated by being really loud.
Yeah, it's like boom.
Come on in then, Cass.
Cass peeks her head in. You can see that she's like, is it safe?
Loran's not naked.
Not yet.
Cass is like, oh, okay, fine, and walks in. And she sort of speaks to Loran. She's like, in the sort of craziness of the last couple of days, which I seem to remember nothing of for some weird reason, I haven't contacted Freya and let her know that I have her contract. And with not knowing where this day will end, I was wondering if you'd mind sending that for me.
Wonder if your ex-girlfriend will turn up to the meeting this morning.
Loran nods and says,
Oh, yes, fuck me. Also stands on the side.
I will certainly send this message for you. Perhaps she can come and collect it herself, and we can see what drama may unfold. He looks conspiratorially at you.
There is something I need to tell you before we go to this meeting, Loran, as well, but not right now.
No.
Cass is like, this is a lot of information. Okay. Hey, Freya. So the plan is to fight Elijah today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay, just wanted to double check that was where the timeline phrase. Okay, so hey Freya, don't know what today might bring, but you have my hair.
And my heart.
I want to tell you I have your contract.
Oh, cool. Lovely. Straight to the point. Magic!
And then I think it will be like, and at the end it will be like, and I think she just end it with Cass. I don't know if she would.
Kiss.
That's fine. So, as that message sends,
XOXO. Gossip Cass.
Couldn't you get around the word limit by putting hyphens between everything?
can you verbalize a hyphen?
Yeah.
I guess it'd be like, hey,
I'm
I
just
guess it sounds a
wondering.
little bit like Jugama Gokoro Surikuri Kaju. Once when I was learning how to say that tongue twister, I was in a bagel shop in Japan, and an old lady in the corner of the shop, turned to me and said, "Very good." And that was it.
There's a bunch of bats flying outside my window. It's really cool.
Oh,
There's about 2 of them, and they're like,
That's
I've
terrifying.
got to ask, the bats that you
they're
have,
really cute.
are they like full on squish nose, sort of like, or are they
They're
like
cute.
flying foxes?
We once had
Oh my God.
one of them got stuck in our house. We had to get it out.
Oh my God. Our
They're
bats
cute.
aren't actually bats. They are flying foxes.
You've got fake bats. Fucking hell,
Fake.
Australia! You've got killer everything and fake bats.
Let me see.
We're a
Fine.
unique ecosystem.
Yeah, a killer ecosystem.
Or
Every
maybe-
day is an adventure.
As that message sends, Cass, Loran repeats the reply, sort of under his breath, and then he says, "Right, so I did get to her. Fun. She's in north of the prayer.
Isn't that where we are?
Yes. Supposedly she was chasing down a child who had been sold by the Sisterhood into a mountain cult and has been able to free them, and she might be able to make it down. To
Awfully
Mass.
convenient.
Awfully convenient. It's almost as if I want to have some fun stuff play out before you guys go. But I think this is going to be quite swell.
Yeah.
Perfectly splendid.
Especially with Boba coming to the meeting.
Well, Boba is still trapped in the Royal Nappy, but I'm sure Mom Zesdal will be able to.
Oh, I thought Mum's...
To be
Mum's
honest,
probably with her.
I am very much of the opinion that with Cass, Boba, and Freya, that would probably also be very fun and would probably happen. So I don't think it would be. I think Cass would be more like interesting rather than she's like, oh no.
I know.
Loran, I have something to confess before the meeting.
Based on what Cass just said, I'm very confused.
Yeah, Cass is also.
Who else here am I involved with?
No one. The thing is, look, Cass was here for this, so Cass can attest. Or maybe she's forgotten. I don't know. But Cass seems very, disengaged from flirting and such things. They all just wash over her. But for me, everything kind of sticks in my brain, and I remember everything.
To the point, please.
Before we started courting, I was just a very young, naive, homosexual person, and I may.
The dwarf.
No, it's not about the dwarf, Cass. There was nothing with the dwarf.
Tell me about the dwarf, Cass. I'd like to know.
There's nothing about the dwarf. You remember this, Loran? Nothing happened between me.
Simply not Ketas. Oh my.
That's it.
There may be someone at this meeting with whom I had a flirtatious encounter with. And I felt I had to confess that.
Oh, you wound me. Flirtatious encounter.
Don't make fun of me, Loran.
Ulster.
I think Cass will like sidle up to you, Ulster, and be like, who?
Ulster, we were practically married from the moment you slapped my bum on the ship.
I didn't do that. That was Cass.
Oh, unlikely story.
Anyway,
I'm sure I can be civil around this cuckold of a man.
well, his name is Shirilef, and we very briefly encountered each other at a tavern and exchanged words and glances and winks, and that was it.
Shirilef Quinn,
Yes.
the policeman, the harbour master.
Yeah, that's the one.
I've smuggled things past him before.
Anyway, that's all I had to say. That's all I had to confess. My conscience is now mostly clear.
I'm only going to say ACAB and leave it there.
Anyway, also snaps another piece of the armor on.
You can tell.
It's not as easy for me, guys.
She's like set up shop and she's just sat there like drinking. Like, yes, this is the one.
You guys have it really easy, you know. You have a very flirtatious, charismatic nature and a long list of conquests. I have kissed one person in my entire life,
Ulster.
and I married them.
Yeah.
Do you know what that feels like?
Ulster, I think it might feel like being
Precious.
bisexual.
I could have had a long list of lovers as well, because, you know, I was actually engaged to be married when I was young by my father, but I rejected my suitor. And did you know that Kev also tried to, well, that was before. Kev was interested as well, but then I wasn't interested in Kev, and then I said no. And then, yeah, there was, that's it.
That was a really long list.
I've
grown old just hearing it.
Ulster.
Daniel liked me too. There you go.
Don't forget the guy from the party.
Oh yes, and I have been flirted with by many young bachelors because magical apostles, because I am also very. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just feel like I have to be on the same level as you guys.
Why don't we have some fun with this?
Why?
I think you should try and woo over the oh so sleepy, long absent Sherlock Quinn.
What do you mean?
I want to
I'm
see
all for this. I want to see this flirtatious.
I think it'll be funny.
You want me to flirt with someone whilst I'm married?
Yes.
I think it'll be quite funny.
Loran, are you sure?
You can say no.
Loran, you tried to kill the last person I flirted with.
Yes. I'm sure that's true. But you see, now it's hilarious.
He looks between them.
It's like that scene in Friends where Ross is like encouraged to go flirt with the pizza delivery lady.
Right. Well,
No, he takes your hand. I can tell that you really do want to prove your skills to me.
Yes, I do.
Your husband.
Yes.
And to me, your best
and
friend.
to Cass, your best friend.
Yes, I do.
You do. So, if you can get, let's say, maybe Shirla to agree to go on a date with you.
Yes, I can do that. He takes his wedding ring off and puts it in his bag. I can do that.
Oh, drama! I love it.
Loran will slowly wiggle his off as well.
I am fully capable of seducing people as well as both of you. Put together, actually, I think.
Good. To see it. And there'll be no mage hand assisted butt slaps to help you out this time.
No, I can do it all myself.
Not if I get there first.
I'm so proud of you.
You think you're the same type as me, Loran?
I think I'm everyone's type.
We'll see about that. Also turns around and walks out the door.
Cass was there when this all went down. Can I insight check? Is this person homosexual or is he?
You knew that he was flustered previously by an encounter.
But is he bi or pan? Would Cass have got that from that meeting?
You can also have a go. Hell yeah!
Cass is also gonna have a go.
But that's not fair because Cass has like a plus 13.
Hey.
No rolls. We just have to play it.
Just
no rolls.
We're just gonna vibe. I think this is going to be a worthy distraction.
Why can't you just let Ulster have his moment, guys?
You don't have to be the same person.
Oh.
If you want to. Up to you.
First person to get a date.
First person to get a date wins.
Yeah.
Easy. Great. All of you put your hands in the middle and go, ha!
It's gonna be me.
Great.
It's gonna be me.
Loran bursts the door open and he looks around the room. Where is everyone? I have a fun idea. Sleia.
I need to go get changed. Also runs back into the closet.
Sleia appears like
back into the closet.
I'm gonna find a new outfit.
Sleia appears fully dressed and ready to go.
Sleia, put on something showing more skin, we are all having a wager.
I'm not sure I want to have a part in this wager.
Yes, you do. I demand that everyone do, and I'm going to speak to Bluey after this. Well, you don't actually have to, because I understand that you're going through some trauma right now. But the wager is this. The first person to get it.
Ulster comes out and
Oh yeah, what?
No. First person to score a date at the hottest event of the year, the Melas Council meeting, wins. What do they win yet? Can you ask? A lifetime supply of my sun cream.
I already have that.
And a compliment from me.
I get that too.
Slia goes, considers for a minute and goes, you know what? I might participate in this.
Also comes out of the closet. Why are you all doing this to me?
Loran's like, oh.
Yeah.
Slia
I
goes and finds Sarazar. Hey, do you want to go on a date with me? She winks. Like it's a joke.
What? Make a wait. No,
No
I have
rolls.
to make a perception. I can't. I have to make an understanding check.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
2. I'm recently divorced, and I think you're married and gay.
I'm not actually at all sexual, so
Right. Okay. Cool.
I was just asking because Loran was like, hey, we're gonna do this thing, and I just thought I would participate.
Oh,
And
I'm so
this
sorry.
is the extent of my participation.
Oh. What is this thing?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll ask them when they come. Meanwhile,
That's how Slia is participating as
beautiful. I'm so
friend
proud of
date.
you. I love this so much. This is
To
great.
the meeting.
Yeah, she wants to get to the meeting.
Before that, there is one thing I need to do with Bluey, and I need the toilet. So let's take brief 5-10 minute break, and then we will come back for the meeting. And this is how we get to session 200, because we're literally doing this shit right in the end game.
Bye guys.
Okay, for now.
I just want to beat Cass.
Let's
Go.
We are going.
This is what Loran's going to want.
Ulster and Loran just looking at each other the whole time.
Loran is going to wear Saint Laurent
Ooh.
for fun.
For
This is
fun.
fantasy.
High fashion is fantasy because we can never afford it.
Exactly.
Hmm.
As we resume, like I said, Bluey, there is one more thing that waits for you before we go down to this meeting. Let me just put on some music. Hang on. So, Bluey, you sit there with Sarazar, and the dawn brings a kind of cool, very low light into the hippocampus inn. Looking out the kind of grated window that sits at the front of the shop, front of the tavern, overlooking the water, the sky does not lighten much more than this. Low kind of blue cloud cover, obscuring all of that bright blue sky you're used to in Melas. There is a knock at the door, and as if materializing from nowhere, perhaps she'd even been up for hours, Lynn appears and bids you both morning on her way out. The door clicks open, and beyond it, you see Finnegan, who pulls down his hat and approaches your table. Then he says, Mr. Sarazar? Bluey?
Hello.
How are you?
I was very tempted. Look, if we're seated at the table, kind of want to do the tail handshake that they.
You can do a tail handshake, certainly.
That was nice. Anyway,
I missed doing that. Louis, would you it's still early.
mhm.
We have a half hour or so to spare. Would you come with me for a moment? I would like to, if you don't mind, take you to your home. You can say no.
I think Bluey would look at Saraza if he sort of gives if the meeting isn't for a while. I guess does Saraza look like he thinks it's a wise idea or not?
Sarasa kind of looks pensive and then says, I can tell the others. I suppose it would be a matter of meeting you at the meeting then. And Finnegan nods. He says, the idea was for you two to come separately. You lot, sorry. To come separately so that no one would be too suspicious.
Okay. All right. Does Bluey have the paint on her?
No,
No, Ulster has
Ulster
it.
does.
Okay.
If you would like to take that with you, you can. If Ulster would sell to you.
I don't think Bluey would.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, they've all got to make it out of the meeting, without people following them. Anyway, so if this is successful, they've all got to meet up anyway again later, so that's fine. Yeah.
You guys have all arranged perfect cover for yourselves. You're all going to go out on dates. That's why you're leaving. That's a good point. So, Bluey, you get up and follow Finnegan out of the tavern after bidding service. Sarah's
So
offers
Bluey
to
tips-
pass. Tips
Bluey
in
tips
hand.
a metaphorical fedora at Saraza.
Is growing slight mushrooms.
He's
As you
growing
head out.
mushrooms.
It's a mushroom fedora.
Mushroom
No,
fedora.
no.
Mushrooms!
No mushrooms. No. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Finnegan walks you through the dawn streets of Melas, looking pale grey in this light.
He's looking pale grey. Oh no.
The streets are. There are lanterns lit every now and again to kind of guide the way, and they sort of sway up the side of the cliff as you walk it. And it is a sight that you remember quite fondly growing up. And when you reach to the top of the city, looking down over everything this early in the morning, it's almost as you remember it. And in the distance you see a comfortable little house that you share with Dadalan. And Finnegan just says, you and your friends have a lot coming. So I wanted to give you one last moment. Monserrat is going to meet you here and escort you to the council meeting. I'm going to go ahead now. It'll be ready by 8 o'clock. You and your friends, you have an hour.
Okay.
And Finnegan begins to head back down, leaving you here. Now I
Do
did
make a a noise. As if, like,
Oh.
I think he may recognize it as like, please come back a moment, and she
Oh.
would give him a hug.
He gives you a hug, and then gives you a little tiny bouquet of daisies that he's picked up along the route, and say, "Give him
Was
my
it for me?
regards."
Oh yes, okay.
You can have them too if you want to.
I think if there's a little bunch there, she might take one and add it to Brian's Lily of the Valley. But yeah. So just getting this right. This is like the old
Oh, my
home.
computer died.
Oh. Oh no.
Hang on. Hello, my computer died. Hang on.
Where did Brian go? Did I hear Facebook? I did hear Facebook. Suited and booted.
Hello.
Ooh.
Until my computer comes back to life, I'm just going to do this here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm back.
Oh. Oh no. Oh.
Yay. Right. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So, as you hug Finnegan goodbye, he gives you the flowers and disappears down the side road. So, I did spring this on you, so I'm going to give you a moment to think about what it is you want to do whilst we cut between the two scenes. Everyone back in the inn. You make your way out, and Lynn gawks at the three of you, absolutely dressed to the nines, addressing you, Cass, Ulster, Loran, and she says, "What on earth are you wearing?"
We're going on dates.
With each other?
No.
Aren't you two married?
Yes.
Loran says no.
No.
No, of course we're not.
Can I insight check Lynn and see whose eyes does she linger on longest?
Go for it. I'm gonna roll a d4. Cass is 1, you're 2, Loran is 3, Sphere is 4. Cass, it's you.
Well,
8.
Halfling and dwarf are alike.
Cass. Oh, I was going to say flips her hair back, but that's really false. Cass has no hair. Cass will sort of like do like that with her hair, like things. Leave her arm up, her breasts pretty out, and she's just sort of like.
Describe it like a male author describing a woman. Her breasts announced themselves.
Her breasts demand to be noticed by everyone in
Ulster's
the
like,
room.
ugh. No. This is so improper. Sorry.
Loran is looking at you like, speaking of improper.
So improper.
Lynn, I don't know why I've become the de facto let's get going man in this party. Where do we go now? We have obviously
Aside
dressed for
your
the occasion. Has.
This doesn't count, Cass. Lynn is part of the party at this point.
I think
What is
that's
your
actually
wager
patently
here?
false.
No, that's not true because she's in on our stuff that we're doing. People at the when we arrive at the tavern is when the challenge starts. Be quiet, Sleer.
We're not going to a tavern, by the way. We're going to a town meeting.
Town meeting.
You getting flustered?
Yes.
He lifts your chin with his hand and smirks in your face.
Get off.
He pats your cheek.
We are not married as of now.
Oh, what a shame. I've never been divorced before. Well.
Let's go.
You guys head on down to the council meeting. Sarazar is as confused as he is tall, and he's very tall.
Sarazar, whatever you see today, you have to understand that it is all to prove my honor.
I have no idea what's happening.
I am going to
Same.
secure.
Let's just go along with it.
I also explains to Sarazar, I am going to secure the best date in the pub that we are going to, whatever we're going to. I assumed it was in a tavern. And then I will lord that over Cass and Loran for the rest of their lives.
Is the real success finding a fast partner or finding one who you have a true connection with?
I'm already married, Sarazar.
Okay.
To your brother.
Yeah, I'm not propositioning you, Ulster. That's inappropriate. I'm far too old.
Do Sarazar's eyes go down?
No, he doesn't look that way.
Also pushes Sarazar away and keeps walking.
Uh-huh.
Like, you're all ridiculous.
You guys are great.
Yeah.
So you guys head over, and what you see, and Bluey, you would see this somewhat too, is people are beginning to fill the streets and converge around the pavilion, which is large enough to hold quite a few people. And inside, rather than being like a viewing point like it is usually, it now is filled with these kind of like marbled seats, like plinths almost, which kind of like go in octagonal kind of concentric circles around a taller raised platform where there is a sort of like half moon of seats facing the people. At the moment, this is an informal event. There are not that many people there. There is free lemonade, there is free cake, and there are plenty of satsumas for some reason.
I push off from the party and I'm going to do a perception check to see who's here.
Right, I would like you all to do a perception check at the same time to see what your options are.
Natural 20, 31.
Pretty good.
This
26.
dice, guys. It's good.
26. And Loran is not that bad.
24 for a rare perception check from Slia.
That's good.
Wow.
So, something I'm going to say just about the attendance of this event so far.
They're all
Firstly,
really sad. They're all really ill. They're all really depressed.
Guys, it's the end of the world. Liven up.
everyone is silent. And
Let's go out with a bang.
Also does not say that. He says it in his head.
Cass does say, let's go out with a bang. With a wink.
Out with a bang, not a whimper, but a whimper's fine too.
Happy whimper's always good.
Other kind of whimpers are even better. Loran.
The three of them just flirting with each other.
Now, here's the thing. I am going to play in on this. As you two talk to each other, you three talk to each other more, people start to drift slightly away.
Right, we cannot be seen together. Also walks off to get lemonade.
Loran's like, okay, fine, I'm going to go towards the cake. Walks next to Sarazar. That was a joke.
Also runs away.
Sarazar talked about this?
Sarazar goes, and like runs out of the meeting.
Yeah, Slia actually just kind of like Slia takes hold of Sarazar. And just
Slia, what
like
did you say?
Slia kind of like links arms with Sarazar. Come on, let's go watch the sunrise.
Okay, you guys take your seats.
Sure you don't want to watch the show?
Funny enough, you can't really escape it. So, your perception checks have yielded you this information. Yes, you are correct. Many of the people here do look to be not in great spirits. Also, this is a small town. Therefore, pickings are relatively slim. You do notice a lack of people near and around your age group, considering the
It's
fact
fine for Ulster.
that most of them are ritually sacrificed. It's fine for Ulster.
He's looking for a zaddy.
Indeed. However,
Yeah, Cass doesn't mind a zaddy or a
Azadi,
MILF.
Sorry, just to clarify, the children being ritually sacrificed, are they also from Melas, or are they sourced from other places as well?
Bluey, you're killing the vibe.
Is this a known fact?
I think it's
Get
Lights
the
or
blood on. Stop talking about sacrificed children.
it's both, indeed, yes.
You're really putting
Cool.
it down.
If you remember what Solari said about this horrible, horrible place that you guys are currently making your playground, the ritual sacrifices began based on a misinterpretation of scriptures.
Oh, where's that been heard before?
Never known that before. Jesus.
The injustices that came about in this town came about from a very hyper-conservative group of Carmentran followers who rejected any nuance to the ideas, or used the ideas of Carmentran's religion to their own gain. As such, left the town vulnerable to be taken over by a semi-fascist government. How funny that we're ending our game here.
Whee.
Anyway, but as part of that, Bluey, yes, they were not discriminatory about where they picked their sacrifices from. At least in terms of whether they were powerful, whether they had something to offer, what they might be able to do. But anything more than that, you do not really know, or is just Solari's conjecture.
This is depressing.
Anyway, so to the fun, sexy game. I will be intercutting Bluey's.
No.
So,
Are people from the Nappery here?
not yet. Now,
Damn it. Gonna show up on Christmas. Cass, I'm reckoning you're about the same
first
height.
person Who you notice, Cass, is interesting. She seems to be wearing a train conductor's uniform kind of dress, which just falls above her knees. She is sort of caramel blonde, but she has vitiligo, which kind of gives her half of her hair just here, an icy white clump. And she's fairly pretty eyes. And she is just kind of like holding her train conductor's hat in her hands and kicking her feet up and forwards against the edge of the pavilion, leaning over and looking at the sea. That's the first
In
person you
Cass's
notice.
head, if anyone was to detect thoughts, you would literally hear target acquired. She starts to
Understood.
walk over there.
Ulster, Ulster,
Yeah. What's that?
looking for your eligible bachelors. At least try and start putting feelers out there. Your true target yet evades you. But you do see two people who could be of interest.
Mm-hmm.
The first is a well-statured centaur.
No. Pass. Swipe left.
The second is a cyan blue tiefling who is rushing down the pathway.
It's not Finnegan, is it?
It is indeed Finnegan.
No. No, I'm gonna wait. Taraza gave me good advice. It has to be a man of quality who is both tall and older than me.
Mm-hmm. Loran nods and then goes to sit in one of the council members' seats.
Duran, I really don't think you're allowed to do that.
I'm making the most striking move I can.
I am going to sit here. Also finds a very inconspicuous seat.
Okay, starting with a Cantha Cass. You approach this woman, and she just kind of leans back and forward like this in the corner, and then looks over at you. Can I help?
I'm just gonna say now that Georgia, is now having like a moral qualm that I'm like going to lead this poor woman on like a flirtatious thing, and then I'm just going to be like, yeah, but I'm actually seeing someone. I don't know if that Cass would have the same moral conundrum though. So, but I wanted you guys to know that I do. But that's not who I'm playing. So Cass sort of leans over the. Did you say it's like? Is it like a wall or a barrier looking into the sea?
Yes, it's the edge of the pavilion.
Okay, Cass will sort of like lean over it in that classic kind of sexy way. Makes her tits look great. Makes her arse look even better.
Wait. Ulster sees this happening. And he's like, Loran,
Yes.
how would you like to make a deal?
Explain.
I will give you a favor if you sabotage her. Anything you want.
Anything I want.
Anything you want.
You know this could lead to me winning.
Sabotage her.
All right. If you insist.
Okay. Ulster sits back down.
I'm going to get the measure of her first.
Okay.
Cass. You make your tits look great. Just kind of like resting them up against the barrier.
Just like that. Like, oh yeah.
Doria does look down and then look back up. Can I?
Just here to sort of save the day, but right now I just wanted a little bit of a break with a pretty woman.
She smiles and then tilts her head. Save the day? What exactly?
I haven't been here when we've discussed things. Are we not? What are we telling people and what are we not telling people? I actually don't know.
So it has to be discreet enough that when we leave, we're not noticed when we leave, and they don't follow us to the tiers. I think other than that, we can kind of.
Okay, I think Cass will like smile and sort of gesture at herself, and then also turn to kind of gesture to Loran and Brian, who are suitably well dressed. And Cass is just going to say, "Well, things haven't been great here. They've not been really great anywhere. So we just thought we'd, go around and bring a little bit of happiness before we moved on."
Also, you watch as Loran scans around the room.
As I turn around, do I see any plotting between the husbands?
Loran is looking at Saraza at the moment, keeping an eye on his expression. But you get the impression he's listening in to what you're saying. Now, Cass.
This is a game.
Doria says, save us. The big task. Tell me more. I'm interested. And she kind of looks at you up and down.
Actually, I'm going to see, do I have any...
Ulster.
Mm-hmm.
Loran points in a certain direction towards a certain someone, and then kicks his feet up off the edge of the chair and stands up and moves over to the edge of the pavilion.
Who's he pointing at?
He's pointing.
Can I insight check him?
Okay.
29.
I will answer your question in a moment. But first, time for whispers. Meet the camera.
Couple whispering. I'm supposed to win this when there's plotting afoot between the DM.
Ulster is like, oh no. Oh dear.
Loran is making his way over.
Ulster will stand up and just be like, Cass, you forgot your bra.
I don't need it.
No, honestly, yes, I think you would like this one back. It's a very expensive, well-crafted one. Please come over here.
Doria looks over at you and says, "We're having a conversation."
No, I really need her to come here.
Insight check. My bestie. Is he trying to thwart my plans, or is it genuine concern? Natural 20.
He is
So,
very
tell me your
concerned.
secrets.
He's concerned.
But
No
is this
mischief.
like, there's no mischief, he's genuinely
mischief.
concerned.
He's genuinely concerned.
Cass will sigh and look back. What did you say? I haven't asked her name. She was like, then Cass will turn back and be like, I didn't catch your name.
Doria. Ardvisera.
The pleasure is all mine. Can we put a pin in this just for a second while I see what has got my friend so worked up?
I'll be here all meeting.
What excellent craftsmanship on this bra, Cass. I would hate to drop it.
Also,
Okay,
he
Cass
moves
is-
further and further away.
Cass is going to go over, but she's kind of going to give a look as she leaves, and it's also. But as she looks back to Brian, she's like, immediately changes how she looks, and she's like, "Is that person evil? Have I done it again? What's going on?"
Ulster kind of sidles up to Cass, puts his arm around her, and says in Abyssal, "She might be with the Temple of Tiamat."
Better then. There's no moral conundrum. No,
They're the ones who are brainwashing the town and are a cult of evil.
exactly. So I can do this. Also potentially kill her, and there's no issues.
Let's try
be
not to
murder.
overcomplicate this, Cass.
Cass is very much like, actually, this makes everything so much better because then she doesn't feel like she's being a bad person. Well, this helps me, Georgia.
If
But
Cass,
just,
if Cass is
Cass,
still
from over
mean-
there, you hear Loran say to Doria, "Gosh, the temple truly have made this place spectacular. You'd have to tell me more about the Napari. Or is there somewhere else I haven't seen yet you could show me?" And then, in response to that, you hear her say, "Truly, we have saved this town." And she looks over at you, Cass. "Thank God. Tiamat, take the wheel."
You make your decision on that one. Pushes Cass away.
Loran gives you a look, Cass, as if to say, "You know what's on the cards now."
Ulster vanishes into the crowd.
Mhm.
Go back.
If you can. As you guys are having this conversation, a slight commotion rises from the other end of the platform as a group of bizarrely dressed people of all different ages, races, and walks of life begin to kind of converge on this area. And you do see all of them are wearing pinstriped pajamas in varying different colours. As
Oh, wow.
the captives of the Royal Napari, up until recently, have somehow emerged into distress stabbing into this realm. Now, as they approach, I'm going to remind you, you see many familiar faces, including Boba Tekka, the librarian from Eldrelith, Harold Hesterbrand, the black powder merchant, Shirleth Quinn, the policeman, Tyrese, the barman, Timmons, the magical assistant, Kaylee, the cleric, Gondo, the former thief turned cleric, Momsuzad, the guard, Chrism, the Chrism, Arsa, the Dragonlord, member of Shami's original crew, and a kobold in pajamas.
Oh.
Cass
Amongst
Cass didn't see them in the Napari, but she's going to run first to Kaylee, who was a friend from home, and sort of scoop her up in a massive hug.
And holds you.
And then once she's given Kaylee a big hug, she'll go and punch Boba on the arm.
Okay. You punch her on the arm and she kind of takes it and says, I swear I came here for something important and I cannot remember for the life of me what it is.
Happens here, I think.
Should we catch up?
As Cass is talking to Boba, Ulster sidles past and just leans in to whisper in her ear in Abyssal, "Oh, if you slept with them, it doesn't count either." And then he just gets back up and wanders off.
These new
Boba says-
rules.
Excuse me?
Oh, we have a wager about getting a date first with people. It's quite fun.
Huh?
But yes. But now
I'm in elephant.
Apparently, though I think Brian just keeps making up rules because he knows I'll win. So
He could have just gone and taken the Ran on a date if that was the case.
Might have been a better use of his time.
Shut up, Sia.
I love it.
Leah is there in the
Leah
corner.
yes, Leah actually said that, please.
Ulster shoots a hateful glare over and he just zeroes back in on the crowd. He's like,
You do catch Loran next to Doria as he leans in and whispers something in her ear. She looks down, her hair kind of falling in front of her face for a moment, and then she flips her head back up and walks with purpose out of the pavilion. And Loran smiles.
Huh.
And blows you a kiss.
Ulster blushes and just turns back. He's like, "No, not right now."
Turning back, your eyes immediately connect with a slightly taller, lightning possessed looking man with fractal scars all over his skin, hair kind of like splayed out wildly behind his body. His feet are barely contained upon the ground. Shirleth Quinn, who formerly was a normal person,
Yeah.
and after months of absence returned to you possessed by some kind of elemental.
Hi, Shirleth.
Sorry, excuse me, let me get into character.
How's the
I think at this, Cass will just sort of sidle up, but she's not going to say anything. She's just going to be like silently watching, like, "Hello, this is going to be fun."
This is what he looks like in Ursula. Shirleth is kind of just like hovering slightly out of frame.
Huh.
And his eyes kind of turn to the sky as he answers you. Old colleagues, it has been some time. Do you remind me of your names?
Also, genuinely thinks it's a bit funny.
Cass is actually laughing.
Wait, sorry, let me just make this a bit more accurate.
Do you always float because you were on the ground in the dappery?
When I sleep, I return to my former self.
Oh, are you always like this then?
No, when I wake, I'm always like this. When I sleep, I am like my former self.
Do you share containment of the body?
Yes.
That's really fascinating.
It happened upon a time when Shirleth Quinn, so this vessel was formerly named, was looking for his younger brother that he'd happened to touch. A petrified tree.
Oh.
The last of its kind that was struck by lightning 500 years ago to the day of the summer solstice.
Cass is
So you
bored.
are-
She's looking around for someone else to float.
So, you are the elemental that was in that tree.
Perhaps.
What do you have a different name, or have you taken on the moniker of Shirleth Quinn?
My name is Haku Tamin.
Hakutamen. Cool. Well, come on in. The meeting should be starting soon.
He wafts.
Also, we'll
It's
go
kind of
with.
dragging.
Yeah, also we'll go with him.
Around is like, huh. And then goes around looking for more. Now, Bluey, from this distance, you see people converging all around the pavilion. Monsters Out has yet to appear for you. In this last chance to go around your family home, is there anything you're doing specifically before you join the meeting?
I think she would. Okay. So Dandelion died when Bluey was like 12 or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Had Bluey been staying elsewhere, or had she been staying in this house and like because she was technically for Dragonborn near adulthood, you know. So like
Maybe
she
it's a very interesting question you ask because you can't really make tail or end of that. It's hard to say because your memory blurs the details out of the later half of your life.
oh shit, okay. All right. Well, Bluey will enter the house and sort of if there's a bunch of little daisies, I think she will take one for herself and put it in a thing, but she might go to every kind of room and like put one in each room, like on a windowsill or like something like that. Sort of bring it around and kind of look around. I don't know if it has like a certain smell to it, but like just breathe it in deeply. Yeah.
Anyway, you inhale and you smell musk, but you notice that though it smells uninhabited, it is relatively clean, as if someone's been keeping it up for you in your absence.
Use the good cleaner. Yeah, that's a good smell. um, okay,
However, as you enter into the last room, which would have been the room that Dadelan slept in to put a daisy on the windowsill, you notice a squeak in the floorboard as you cross the floor.
if there's a sort of rug there, then she might sort of gently lift it up and see if there is a little latch and a what do you call them?
Hidden compartment.
Door?
You are
Yeah.
exactly correct.
Hmm.
As you
Night.
As you lift up the rug, you notice a floorboard with a little latch. You pull it back, and underneath, you find a small little hat box.
A hat box?
Round,
Is like as in
like a box that usually would have a hat in it. Round,
okay.
quite tall. And
Right, yeah.
you can pull it out if you like. And as you do the top just kind of pops off fairly easily. But there's a powder of dust. Inside.
Yeah, she'll like gently put it on the floor and kind of open the lid. She feels a bit.
Looking inside, you notice pages and pages of sketches. Charcoal drawings of Dadelan's face, of your friends, It, Finnegan, some more crude, clearly drawn by children. You can start to sort of piece together a memory box that he kept.
Oh.
But as you do so, you notice a discrepancy. In all of his sketches and drawings, you see in the ones where there are more than one person present, perhaps yourself and It and himself, perhaps you and Finnegan, gaps and kind of odd placements along the pages. When you look at the child's drawings, the children's drawings, you notice figures on those pages that you have no recollection of. Multiple children drawn holding hands with you, with Davalan. You being the smallest. And that memory you have of Davalan hugging you in the King's trials. Flashes in your mind as you remember he said siblings.
Ah,
And you never listened to the Magnus archives.
what happened to the happy, fun episode, Emma?
Episodes with the stranger kind of inspired me a little bit. They make one person remember, as everyone else forgets, if someone disappears. But sometimes a fragment of them will be left behind. Bluey, you're looking at fragments of memory that the magic of Melas has been unable to break.
As in, okay, me as a player, do I get the sense that where there's gaps in the sort of like drawings that look like they're drawn by someone who's older,
Mm-hmm.
does it seem
Yes.
like the magic of Melas has touched those ones, but not touched the ones by
The
children?
children. Yes.
Okay. Has or hasn't reached.
As you lean over these, there is a on the door. Louis.
I think she would have started crying and would have been trying to not get this on the charcoal. And I think that the practicality of that would have already kind of stirred her from, getting wrapped up in this. And she would, I'm assuming the noise comes from the door down. Mum's as well.
You turn around. Sorry, I mean chocolate.
Or is he standing in like the doorway?
In the doorway.
Okay, right. Hello.
They're not going anywhere. But time is.
I think she would want to put the box back, but put one of like the last daisy in with the box, and then sort of close it up and yeah.
Mops is up, puts a hand on your shoulder if you allow it. There's a lot to be regained by freeing this place. I want to help you do that. But before you arrive at the council, there is much I must tell you. We don't have that much time. Fortunately. He offers you a little handkerchief and guides you out of your house. The last thing you see of it as you disappear over the path back down to Melas again is the little chimney disappearing. Back to the pavilion.
How are our dates going?
How are your dates going? Let me just check something.
I think Ulster's chatting very animatedly with Shiralef's elemental.
Lovely. Loran, assessing the room, has honed in, it seems, on an easy target.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it is to be said that Ran does not surround himself with ugly things. Timmons was no exception to this rule. Considering their shared past, he has approached him and greeted him once more.
Mm-hmm.
But that is not the focus of our conversation right now. Ulster,
Yes.
you are in deep conversation with Shirleth, which is difficult considering Shirleth is Hakutaman. And
I don't know, All-Star seems to get on pretty well with monsters and stuff, so why would an elemental be different? Are you happy? You seem quite bound by your fleshy prison.
I quite enjoy this vessel.
All-Star pokes him. It's not quite the same though, is it?
You're correct, it is not. Seeing him like this, I suppose it would be nice to get a new perspective.
I mean, I could try and separate you.
Hakutaman pauses. How would you do this?
Well, I am a druid. I'm quite in tune with the elemental planes. I could, since I know your name, and your origin as the spirit of that tree, I could summon you out of his body.
I was the spirit of the lightning trapped in that tree.
Yes, so you were the lightning trapped in the tree. So I will summon you out, and you won't be trapped in a tree or a person anymore.
Interesting. I will allow this.
Thank you. Okay. Also kind of like pulls him down as much as he can.
Okay.
And he focuses, and he will try and summon the spirit out of Shirleth using summon elemental.
Okay, now, also.
Yeah.
The rain clouds that have been gathering over this city for quite some time suddenly twirl and twist into the eye of a storm. Focused over this pavilion, people scream and yell as the mists begin to funnel down like a tornado.
No, it's
all
okay,
around this
everyone.
place.
It's okay.
Grey mists pour out of Shirleth's eyes and nose and mouth as he yells and is drawn up into the sky, hands flung open, like Katie Bell in that one movie.
This is normal. Don't worry.
Lightning forms a dancing, twirling pattern around Shirleth, and he slumps to the ground all of a sudden.
I'll catch him.
You catch him in your arms, and remaining there behind in his place, you see the long fractal hand of a colossal being which takes up the entirety of the storm sky and looms in down over the pavilion.
Also blushes.
And Shirleth blinks open.
Oh,
No.
you're right.
Where is he?
He's there.
He's still here.
Yeah, of course.
And he reaches out. Hakutaman! Finally! And he's like reaching out in amour with this huge monster.
Boring. He just tosses him off.
Hakutaman picks him up and you see the light of 1,000 lightning bolts take his body in his hand, and before he leaves, cradling the shivering, crying Shirleth in his hands, he says, "Thank you."
You're welcome.
Thunderclap, and the body disappears. On with Shirleth. I think that's a really fun story. Loran.
The true ship of this campaign.
Loran sidesteps over and says, "Look, Ulster, I really don't want to go on a date with you. So please, I'm begging you, find someone here to ask on a date.
You turn around and Cass is still just talking to Boba and Kaylee.
Boba, do you have not Boba? Cass, do you have any intentions of this?
Cass turns back
Completing our
around from
wager.
where she's been from chatting with her friend. She's like, well, Brian was always going to win, so I'm not really interested.
I came here for a show.
I don't think anyone wants to go on a date with me.
Cass, at this, turns around furious. Like, no, everyone. And Cass like, looks around and she's like, they're all just too in awe of your beauty.
Loran
They
says,
can't deal with the princely visage you have going on. It's just too much for everyone. Look at what you're wearing.
Loran says, Ulster, let me take the measure of you, and takes your chin and tilts it up towards him. Who do you have your eye on?
No one really.
Don't be such a wallflower.
Cass is still like circling you, like doing best friend cheerleading, like, oh my god, you're amazing.
How about Londo?
No, I mean it genuinely. I don't like the look of anyone.
Loran says, I made this wager because it sounded like you were a little wistful about your supposed lack of experience.
Interrupts and's like, how about Rand goes and stands over there and she like pushes him away. It's like, and then you go and show your new and improved flirting skills since you first met, and you try and get Loran to go on a date with you.
I think I'm just gonna sit down. And Ulster goes and sits on a bench.
Can Cass insight check her bestie?
My mum said,
It is a dirty 20. The brass dice coming in clutch.
I think Ulster's just disconnected from it now. He's not as interested. He does that.
But is he like just like, oh, he's like, oh, whatever, I'm not that interested, or is he like sad about it?
I think he's just doesn't see it as fun anymore.
Cass will go over to where he sat and just sort of tap his cheek and be like, we all know you're the best looking one here. And then she'll go back to speaking to Kaylee and Boba.
Ulster will smile, and then he'll start making a daisy chain in his lap.
Loran sits next to you and puts his hand over his shoulder, and he says, can I tell you a secret?
What?
It didn't feel right. It felt, in fact, very wrong.
Mm.
And when I made this wager, I didn't think it would be like this at all. I thought it would be... I think I've changed.
Ulster will put his ring back on. This is fine.
Just fine. And Loran puts his ring back on. I can become a cloud monster if you wish. I saw how you run.
No, it just reminded me of someone.
Oh my Loran like is like, I have no idea what that means.
You don't have to know.
Can I go on a date with you?
Well, we're already on a date with death. Let's go.
I meant more like when this is all over, but besides, he kind of looks around and is like, there's not really anyone here who is worth our time.
Yeah. He'll put the daisy chain on Loran's head.
I can take you to some places with some much more eligible bachelors if you really want to test this out. I think this requires its own one-shot.
No, I think I'm done with this for now, actually.
Let's see what you say when we have tons of epilogues ahead of us. But anyway, Cass, as you talk with Boba, it's up to
And
you.
Kaylee.
And Kaylee. You get the impression considering she's just come out of a months-long nap, she's not really feeling the spark.
Yeah, that's fine. I think Cass is just more interested in catching up.
For sure. We're going to end it in a second. As you all sit down, Loran says, well, technically I lost. So I suppose I owe each of you a favour, and I'm being very generous. Cass, that's a very powerful gift from me.
Cass does a really sad smile, and she was like, let's see how you feel at the end of the day.
He looks down and then acknowledges this is probably just one of those things he will not be privy to until later. But as you settle down, you notice as well the rest of the pavilion beginning to settle into place. With, funny enough, one seat remaining quite notably empty amongst many of the Temple of Tiamat people who you've seen before, quite firmly established. And they do appear to be looking amongst themselves as if say, where is Daria? And Loran says, I may have employed liberal magic to keep her away from here, just for fun. I'm sure nobody is disagreeable with that. Wow, you're all quiet all of a sudden, he says to Slia, Saraza, and Cass, and Boba, half of whom are me.
Just keeping a little bit of plausible deniability.
Wonderful. Should we perhaps sit separately so that we don't look like a big group when we leave?
Yes, we should spread out as much as possible.
Okay. He takes Ulster's hand and rushes to the back of the back
Cass
of
will
the...
drop her disguise self, and she's now back in her regular armor.
Okay. Are you already disguised? No! Everybody should be wearing sexy outfits to go to the final fight.
Only if those sexy outfits have the equal stats to my armor.
You can use disguise self to make
True.
your armor look however sexy you want it. It'll still be your
It's true.
armor.
Very true. Yes. Well, there we go. So Cass doesn't drop her disguise self. She's going to go to the battle looking like a very sexy suited woman, but underneath she is wearing her full armor.
Love that. I love that for you. Bluey, before you head up to join everyone, Mom Says Vald leads you to the edge of the pavilion where fine garmented officials are waiting. And I think it's here, with all of you spread amongst the crowd and Bluey waiting to join you, that we'll end this session and pick up next time with council meetings and escapes to the tiers. And that's it, friends.
Thank you.
Loran whisked you away to the back of the pavilion.
Well, we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, I'm having a bit of bad period pain, so I'm going to go and lie down.
Is next time Tuesday week?
Next time will be
I don't know.
either we could do the Saturday the 2nd, or we could do Tuesday the 5th, whichever is happier for you guys.
We'll do another vote in the chat.
Okay.
I
sounds
can't
great.
do that Saturday. I'm away.
That's okay. Then Tuesday the 5th, all
Yeah.
hands up.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm coming back from something on. Depends on what time on Tuesday, because I'll message you. It's late.